Ghana South Africa is Manchester United 1, Arsenal 1. My name is Ash and I'm here with Nino. Nino, welcome back. uh, Nino, 1-1 at Old Trafford. I don't know. I don't know if I would say the same performance or not is the result you expected, but your take on the game.
To be fair, I wasn't really expecting much because this is Old Trafford, for God's sake. I know we've been dominant against Man U for a while now, but then you still have to give them that respect. This is Old Trafford. I expected a low-scoring win, probably 1-0, but with the way it turned out, 1-1, and also kudos to Man U. I mean, of course, this is a derby, so the spirits are going to be high and all the rest. So they came out well. They had a game plan. At some points, it worked. It wouldn't have successfully worked if not for the free kick they scored, but then it worked. Kudos to them. They did a good job. And our boys also played well. I'm happy that Martinelli is back. At least not for the push for the Premier League, but to give something different for the Champions League that we have successfully moved into another round. So I think the boys did well. Barring any personal decision making, I mean, Odegaard, if you want to start singling out people that were not making proper decisions, quick decisions, you call Odegaard, you call Trossard, you call Merino. I won't even really blame Merino because over the years or over 2 seasons, they barely get involved in games unless they drop back. The only person that does well is Jesus because he drops back. That's his own kind of game. But players like Havertz and all the rest, when they isolate them, that's all. They don't do anything. So it is what it is. We got 1 point. There is no hope for the EPL for now again. So drawing the game is not still bad. If we were maybe 2 points behind or 5 points behind ahead, that's when fans will be boiling and everything. But it's all good. They all did well. My whole focus is on Champions League right now. I'm not saying we are going to win it, but at least going head to head with Madrid shows that we've come a long way. Sometime 4 years ago, we were not in the Champions League. I think 4 years or 5 years, we were not there. And this is what Arteta has been telling us about, the stages and the phases. I don't know what phase we are in.
He said we are 4 to 5.
Okay, so which means he's right on track according to him, which means next season we are supposed to be winning trophies properly. So kudos to them. They all did what they could do.
So we saw a different Arsenal team against PSV during the week. Why? Because PSV they came out. We saw the spaces and we attacked the spaces. But then when you watch the same team against teams that play low block, it's like we move the ball slowly. We are not too quick on the ball and stuff like that.
Like I said earlier to one of the fans here, I told him that English football evolves almost every 3 months. A pattern or a gameplay you think is working well, it will look like the whole team was formed to fashion against you. They will go and try to understand that pattern. We had something we could use to win games before, which was the corner kick, but now it's not forthcoming anymore. We could play 25 corners and will not score anyone, compared to when we would play 10 and score 2 or 3 out of the whole 10. So English football is always evolving. Champions League is a different ball game entirely. Everybody is coming out to play with their hearts out. Everybody is coming out to play for the pride of their club, because that's one of the biggest stages in football. So I feel like the two things are different. Premier League, Champions League is also different when you look at La Liga and then Champions League too. The gameplay is structured differently. So I don't know. They will be fine, Jare. I don't know what else to say. They will be fine.
Okay. You already talked about players who didn't make good decisions today. You talked about Martin Odegaard, Leandro Trossard. But let's talk about somebody that made massive decisions today. David Raya.
Aside the improper positioning he had earlier on, he did well. He's always doing well. He's not the reigning Golden Glove for nothing. I mean, he's showing it consistently every day. But then sometimes, these things get into their head. Sometimes they are so comfortable and then they make wrong decisions. Because even me, on a normal day, I'm not a good goalie. I'm not a goalkeeper. I've never applied my trade in the goalkeeping department, but I know I would never go and stand at the edge of the post for a free kick. It's not like I don't believe in myself, but I won't take that risk. It's too much of a risk.
Reminds me what this guy did, Ronaldson did against Manchester City, the free kick from Mahrez. Remember Ronaldson?
Yeah.
Exactly what Raya did
Same
today.
The same thing. So it's quite painful that a professional like that would make such decision. But aside that, I think he kept us in the game. Kudos to Man U, by the way. Like I said earlier, they played their hearts out. They did what they could do, and when the game was looking like a draw, they came all out, made some decisions, and tried to score goals. So Raya kept us in the game. I think he saved us. If I'm going to pick, I think he's the only player that I could rate at least 8. The others were below par. I won't also blame them. They had Champions League to play and then some decisions and everything. So it's all good. Then also there's something I noticed. I don't know, but I feel maybe it's just me, but I feel like Arteta is beginning to limit Nwaneri's contribution in the team. Nwaneri is not the kind of player that you tell to hug the touchline. He won't do so well. And in this game, I saw him doing it. Against Man City, he didn't do it. Against West Ham, he didn't do it. Against PSV, he didn't do it. But this game, he was more close to the touchline than usual. And sometimes you need to allow these players play freely. Give them the instructions, but still allow them to express themselves. That's one thing I love about Carlo Ancelotti. He made a statement one time. He said the modern day coaches put too much details in football and restrict the free flow of football. Allow Nwaneri to do what he needs to do. If you see Heaven, he came on for Man U and he was expressing himself. Allow these boys to express themselves. You just will not know, out of nothing, something will just come up. I mean, you could see Nwaneri against Man City when he was raising his hand. He was raising his hand for a pass to get to him, and then Rice finally saw him. Rice found him and then gave him the pass. And you see how he expressed himself. So I don't know. He should just allow these boys sometimes express themselves, especially our wingers. They are too. I won't even say they are direct because I don't see any directness in them. I don't even know what they do. They are not skillful. They are not direct. Only Saka tries to bring something out of nothing, but the others are just there. Trossard before caught sin. Before you know, he runs behind a defender. But now he doesn't do that, and I'm sure it's part of the whole decision making behind the scenes and all. So you should just allow these players to express themselves. You can be rigid in the defense. Tell them to stick to plan. Or from the midfield upward, from the central midfield upward. Allow them to express themselves. Declan Rice is roaming well.
Very well.
You get. So allow other players. You bought these players for a reason. You bought these players because they have different attributes. They can change. They can interchange positions. They can drop in. They can fall back or push forward. They have those attributes. That is what you want in your players. So allow them to express themselves to full potential. That's what I think. You get. So I know he might not see this, but if he sees this, he should think about it. Allow these boys to express themselves. Let them play proper football. You understand? That's just my take.
So you've literally said it all. You've literally said it all. So we saw the team struggle this season, in this particular game, and it's nothing new that we need a top 9.
It's not a new thing. We've been clamoring for a top 9 for years now. When I mean years, I'm not even just talking about Arteta's regime. The regime before Arteta. I think we managed to get Aubameyang, which was the departing gift that Arsene Wenger gave to us. Aside that, no other coach got a striker. I mean, you would say that there's no reason to get a striker, but why Man City had 2, other teams, Liverpool had 3 or 4. So why couldn't we get our own 3 or 4 also? We had only Aubameyang and Lacazette, and then both of them left till today. There is nothing. Arteta knows what he wants. The board has seen clearly what they want. I just feel like they should make a decision and just let the fans actually taste a proper trophy. Let's have bragging rights amongst our rivals, because I'm tired of arguing with my rival fans, and they're telling me, you have not won Champions League before, you have not won Europa League before. Yeah, we have more trophies than Chelsea put together, but then I also need a bragging right. Okay, and when last did you win Premier League? 2004, blah blah blah. Come on, they know what to do. They should just do it. They shouldn't be like Nigerian governments. Please, there's nothing bad about Nigerian government. If you hear this,
Thank you very much. Thank you.